Might notice I'm a bit clammy, a bit wet. Just got back from a run and it started raining. So yeah, while I was running, I had had something come to me, and I just wanted to record it as soon as I got home. So I just had a drink and a nutritious smoothie. So I am charged to do this. I struggled with weight a lot when I was younger, and it's something I try to balance as an adult now. I've got pretty good control over my physical health now, but that slipped a bit when just before my daughter was born, and then it's been a slow slog getting back to a state that I'm feel very happy with and confident with, and where I can perform athletically to my satisfaction, and just feel good overall. But that's not the base, the point of the whole story. I just had to give a bit of insight. When you're very unfit and you're overweight, everything is a battle, and then you just want to get from where you are to the end goal immediately. Like, you just want it to happen as fast as possible, and that's why people struggle so much. I've been in that situation myself as well. Like, you're at your lowest point and you just want to be at your highest point. I don't mean highest point in weight, I mean highest point as in your achievement, your goals. And when you see how long that road takes, like once you've been doing it for a little bit and it doesn't happen instantly, it deters you. And then you fall back into bad habits, or you're unmotivated, whatever. Shit happens, and it's hard. It's not easy. Otherwise everyone would look like a Greek statue if you're a dude or a girl, if you want to look like that. If it was easy, like I said, everyone would look like that. But it's not easy, it's hard work. But what isn't hard work is feeling good. If you change your perspective from, I want the end result, to, all right, well, I've gone from nothing. So say you just very stationary, you haven't really done much about anything. You're starting at the bottom and you want to get going. That might be going for a 20-minute jog/run 2 or 3 times a week. And then you build on that, and then you might all right, cool, I can get some deadlifts in. Ideally, like, if you could get in, like what I just said, like that 3 minutes of, 20-minute sessions of, building your cardiovascular endurance and getting 2 lifts in a week, within 3 weeks, you'll feel like a completely different person. You'll feel way better. And people get mixed up in feeling good and the results on paper and what they think their end goal is. And that's why they fall off. That's why they can never continue to reach their goal, because they try for that period of time and they're not focused on what's happening to themselves, their body. They're looking at data, which is important to track, but it's not going to be the most motivating for a long period of time. It's going to be great, in 6 months' time, if you've been able to stay on track and you can see your progression. You're like, wow, I really stuck this out, and then here's the data. Like, I have this information. This is what I was. This is what I'm at. I've made X gains or X losses, and I feel great because I achieved that. But in that interim, you can still feel great. Like, if you get those sessions in, you've done something. You're working towards your goal, and the goal is the goal. But getting the work in should be a reward itself. You should feel proud that you're putting in this hard work, because whether you're fit or unfit, or you could be an athlete. Sometimes you don't athletes don't always feel like performing and training. It's hard work. But they have the discipline to continue and get the results that they're after. And it's harder for everyday people, but it doesn't mean you can't still reap those rewards. And it's like, right, like I said, you might start you're doing 3 20-minute cardio sessions a week, and they don't have to be super intense. It could be between a walk to a run, like anywhere between there. If you're just moving for 20 minutes 3 times a week, you're going to start feeling better about yourself. And then if you add in some, basic compound strength training, you're going to feel really, really strong. You're going to feel good about yourself. And that should be your guide, and that should be what you're looking for, is to feel you reap those benefits of doing the hard work. That hard work is the goal. If you can do that hard work and sustain it for a long period of time, guess what? You're going to reach your goals. So if you're starting out, you want to lose 10 kilos, and then you're like, right, well, you don't want to set an unrealistic goal, like time frame, but say you're like, okay, over 5 months I want to lose 10 kilos. If you stick at your plan and of getting your exercise in, obviously calories in, calories out is the most important thing for losing and gaining weight, but that's not my point. Sticking to the hard work, say if you have that, you're monitoring your diet as well, you'll achieve that goal. But in that, like I said, in that interim period while you're working, you're going to start feeling better before you reach your goal. And then you should ride that wave of feeling good and putting in that hard work and feeling the rewards of enduring hardship. And that hardship is getting you where you need to go. Now let's bring it to photography. If you just start, like you haven't been shooting long, and you're just like, oh, I want to be a pro photographer, or I want to be doing these crazy, these really good shoots, and like just going out and whatever. Just, you want to be making amazing photos and making amazing art. Guess what? You can't just start from 0 and go to 100. You're not going to have the knowledge or the experience to do that. You might fall somewhere in the middle, or you might get close at times, but you're not going to be able to stay consistent. What you're going to feel better about doing is like, right, I'm going to go out again 3-4 times a week and just shoot for half an hour. Like, I might not get anything, I might get something. And then that becomes the reward itself. It's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go out and be active about shooting. And you might not get any good photos, but you're actively pursuing something and honing in on that discipline. And over time, you're going to get better. And you're going to have, your data will be the collection of work that you have, the photos you've taken, so you can see improvements from, say you started 3 years ago, you look at the photos, you're like, yeah, like maybe 1 in every 100 was actually a really good photo. And then your hit rate will be reduced. Like overall, like you might, out of 100, you might get 20 after like 6 months. And then it might be like 50 out of 100. That's pretty good, but it might not always happen like that, especially if it's on the street. But my point is, you're going to get better over time. And the only way you get better over time is by being consistent over time and pursuing it. And yeah, I just want to say that interim period where you go from, say, novice to intermediate or pro or whatever, that can be enjoyed. It doesn't have to be, oh, I can't wait to reach this end result. Like, obviously you want to be at that level as fast as possible, but it doesn't mean that from starting at the bottom you can't enjoy that ride. If you're consistent and putting in the work, you should be proud of yourself for putting in the work, and then you can see your results. So yeah, I just want to bring that back. Just because you're at the bottom and it's a long road to where you want to go doesn't mean you can't enjoy that time in between. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That was inspired by me getting some breath work in out on the footpath running. So like and subscribe. Thanks for today, fellas. Godspeed.